In case I've not mentioned it before, I started suffering from arthritis in my hands quite a while back, partly hereditary and partly down to, I suspect, being a hairdresser and fitting extensions for over 20 years. CBD works a little to ease the pain for me, but lately a couple of fingers on my dominant hand have been excruciating and nothing seems to be touching it. My mum has arthritis in her hands and every single finger is affected apart from her wedding finger. On that finger, of course, she has a wedding ring, a gold wedding ring. I was intrigued and read up on it, and indeed, gold has been used to treat arthritis as an anti-inflammatory for years. However, they usually inject it. No thank you. I read a bit more and found out that there are places selling 24 karat gold for use in cosmetics. Now, you don't want just any gold, as it can contain other metals and you won't know the purity, so don't be skipping along to Hobbycraft just yet. I was looking for information on how to use it, and they advise either applying it to the skin like a body or a face mask or grinding it and stirring it into a cream. I wondered about usage rates at first, but seeing it applied leaf after leaf directly onto the skin, I can safely assume that one leaf mixed into an entire jar of cream should be fine. I then wanted to know a little bit about how to add it. Does it require a chelating agent? Are there other things to consider? I know there will be oxidization issues when using silver with aloe vera, but is it the same with gold? Will it react to the other ingredients? After searching for a long time, I saw on a supplier website that they suggest people buy the gold and stir it into their favourite skincare products. This either indicates that there will be no reactions with other ingredients and it's fine with anything, or that perhaps they're spreading misinformation. I can't be sure because I can't find enough information on formulating with it to be sure. Because of this, I'm not going to be able to find the answer to my question. I searched some more for papers on safety of using gold in skincare. I found some articles which I will link in the blog post, which will be available on Patreon if you want to join that, along with the formula for this lotion. Having read through those, I am content enough to make the body lotion that I enjoy using and then crush and add the gold leaf to that. I got my gold leaf from a friend who works in the jewellery space, and so I know that it's pure. However, the suppliers that I've included in the blog post do provide cosmetic grade gold, and they do have purity certificates, but I've not used them, so I can't verify them in any way, so you need to do your own research, and it's gold, so it's not cheap. If you look on the Cosing database for gold, which I'll also link in the blog post, you can see a number of different results. You'll also see both gold and colloidal gold referred to in the links that I provide. Looking at the Cosing database, it seems that gold is pure gold and colloidal gold is the same, but it says that that product is obtained by the suspension of the gold in water or other liquids. So these are what we want. Gold mica, CI77480, is a colorant and not pure gold. So all you'd be doing with that is just adding mica to your lotion. So you want gold or colloidal gold. I also have no idea if this will help my arthritis in any way, but at this point I'm willing to try anything, and this looked like an exciting thing to do with lotion that I've not done before. Gold is suggested for us in skincare because supposedly it's detoxifying and helps with skin elasticity as well as the anti-inflammatory properties. If you've ever formulated with gold or have more insight, then please do leave a comment below because I'm genuinely interested in this. I wonder sometimes if it's just a marketing tactic and to get people to spend too much on lotion, or if there is something in it. I'd like to know. Lastly, before I get onto the formula, I must say I'm not a cosmetic chemist, as you should know by now. I've not worked with gold in skincare before. I thought this would be an interesting experiment on YouTube, and looking over the information I've linked in the blog, I feel happy using it. However, this doesn't substitute for your own research. There may be information that I've missed, and this is by no means a finished product. So here's the formula for my gold body lotion. It's fragrance free since I want to avoid any potential reactions with the gold, since I don't know if that is a factor, and I want to make it as gentle as possible. If you don't want to add the gold, then this would make a lovely basic body lotion on its own that you can customise with other things. So let's get on with making it. We'll start off with our glycerin in a beaker, and to that I'm just adding distilled water. You can add a hydrolate if you wanted, but again, like I've said, I don't know how things are going to react with the gold, so I'm sticking with quite a basic formulation for this. So I'm just going to mix that up to make sure that the glycerin's combined with the water, weigh it and note down the weight including the beaker and put it aside. Then work on your phase B ingredients, for which I'm using BTMS 50, which is a lovely conditioning emulsifier, some cetearyl alcohol for thickening, stabilising and luxurious feel, some mango butter because it adds to the viscosity and has a lovely skin feel, and then some camellia oil and some macadamia oil because they're quite fast absorbing, lightweight, and it just makes a really nice lightweight summery kind of lotion. And that is our phase B. And now we need to heat phase A and phase B in a water bath until phase B has melted and they're both around the same temperature. When they are, take them off the heat, weigh the water phase again and replace any water lost to evaporation. And then you can pour your water phase into your oil phase, and we need to shear mix this with a stick blender to create an emulsion. Once that's done, give it a stir and take the temperature, and we want to wait until this is 40°C or below before we add our cool down ingredients. Once it does reach below 40°C, you'll see it's thickened up and we've got a lovely lotion consistency. And I'm just going to add some vitamin E and our preservative, in which case I'm using Salagard PCG because it's one of my favourite and most reliable preservatives that I use. And then stir that in really well by hand. And now we get to the gold. Now, the gold that I got from my friend was gold leaf, which means that I need to kind of flake it myself. I could either put this in a pestle and mortar and grind it, or I could create flakes, but the way it was sticking to this made me think that if I put it in the pestle and mortar, it would just stick to the bottom of it and I'd never get it off. So I decided to sort of flake it using a whisk and the spoon, which kind of worked quite well, but then it kind of had static or whatever and stuck to those. So I used the lotion to get it off the implements, and actually that worked quite well. So you'll see me faffing around now with getting the gold from this nice little watch glass and the implements into the lotion. Give it a really good mix once you've added it. It does seem to break it up a little bit as you do that as well, which helps, and it suspends really well in this lotion base. I think you probably could do this in a serum as well. I've seen gold used in serums, but I wanted a lotion because I really needed a moisturiser for my hands anyway. But you can see it all speckled throughout in larger and smaller pieces, which I quite like. This is kind of how I've seen it. It usually is quite visible in the lotion or the serum that people make, which I guess is partly for marketing purposes, so it looks pretty as well, but I'm really happy with this so far. So we need to take the pH. The pH nothing, as far as I'm aware, is affected by the pH too much, so I'm aiming for a pH of between 4.5 and 5.5. I took the pH of this and it came in at just under 4.5, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it where it is and not mess around with pH adjusting. And then I'm going to pop it into my little containers. Given this is a gold lotion, I wish I had much nicer containers than this, but this is all I had because I've run out and I haven't washed up from past products that I've used yet, so we'll go with these. And then I'm just going to sprinkle the tiniest little bit of gold mica on the top. You could save some gold flake for the top if you wanted, but it just, makes it look a little bit more high-end and beautiful. But I'm really pleased with how this has come out, and it looks really nice if you smear it, because you can see the gold flecks in it. So I'm going to test this on my hand and see what it feels like. It's could go in a pump bottle, but I didn't want to risk the little flakes of gold getting stuck, so I've put it in a jar. And it goes on really well, it absorbs really nicely, and it's just really nice and lightweight. So again, if you didn't want to use the gold, you could just make this formula as a nice lotion and perhaps add some nice little actives into it in the cool down phase. But I hope you like this. I hope you found it interesting. If you want the formula, it is on my Patreon, along with all of the information that I gave and some links to other resources about using gold in formulas. And I will see you in the next one.